Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the films that we loved in 1930. These are the films from Hollywood that we all loved and grew up with in 1930. Well, we didn't grow up with them, but we learned to appreciate them in 1930. Let's go ahead and check out these amazing films. First up we have is A Devil with Women, released in 1930. It stars Victor McLaglen, Mona Maris, and Humphrey Bogart. A love triangle movie, crime, drama, and mystery. Check out A Devil with Women. Next up we have A Lady to Love, featuring Velma Banky, Edward G. Robinson, and Robert Ames. Hungry for love, starved for love. Then fate held out happiness for her and snatched it away. A love triangle, A Lady to Love. Next we have Abraham Lincoln, an episodic biography of the 16th President of the United States. Abraham Lincoln is a war movie, biography, drama, and thriller with John Wilkes Booth. Remember John Wilkes Booth? Next up, we have a masterpiece movie called All Quiet on the Western Front. And it stars Louis Wolheim, Lou Ayres, which was a big box office draw back in the 30s, and John Ray, W-R-A-Y. All Quiet on the Western Front is a war movie, so check it out. Next up, we have our best comedy duo, our best comedic Ensemble Brothers, the Marx Brothers, Animal Crackers, released in 1930, comedy, family, and musical film. I botched that one up, but it's awesome. Next up we have is Anna Christie, featuring Greta Garbo. It is a drama romance. A young woman reunites with her estranged father and falls in love with a sailor, but struggles to tell them about her dark past. Anna Christie. Next up we have is the Benson murder case. A ruthless cricket stockbroker is murdered at his luxurious country estate, and Detective Phil Vance just happens to be there. He decides to find out who killed him. Crime, mystery, and thriller. The Benson murder case. Next up we have Amos and Andy. A comedy, the duo of Amos and Andy. They had a lot of feature films, and this is a typical comedy, dark comedy from the 1930s. So check out Amos and Andy. I don't know if that's blackface or not, though. All right, we have the Criminal Code. After a failed attempt at running for governor, DA Mark Brady is appointed warden of the state prison where many of the criminals he prosecuted are incarcerated. This is a crime, drama, and romance movie, The Criminal Code. Next up we have Danger Lights. The tough boss of a railroad yard befriends a young hobo and unwittingly places in jeopardy his relationship with the woman he loves. This is an adventure and drama film, Danger Lights, featuring Robert Armstrong and Jean Arthur. Next up we have The Blue Angel. It is a drama and music film. An elderly professor's ordered life spins dangerously out of control when he falls for a nightclub singer. Emil Jannings in The Blue Angel. And next we have Fast and Loose. A wealthy family is thrown into turmoil when the daughter falls for the family chauffeur, and the son begins to keep company with a chorus girl. It is a comedy romance from rags to riches, like The Prince and the Pauper, and High Society. Next up we have Feet First, featuring Harold Lloyd, adventure comedy, family, and romance. an ambitious shoe salesman who unknowingly meets his boss's daughter and tells her he is a leather tycoon, has to try to hide his true circumstances. So he must be poor, pretending to be rich. That's my For the Defense, starring William Powell. For the Defense, it is a crime, drama, and romance. This involves courtroom theatrics, drama, mystery, great acting with Kay Francis and William Powell. For the Defense. Next up, we have Journey's End, featuring Colin Clive. Everybody knows Colin Clive from Frankenstein. And we have David Manners and Billy Bevan. In France, an alcoholic captain is afraid that his new replacement, his sweetheart's brother, will betray his downfall in Journey's End. Next up, we have Ladies of Leisure. This can be kind of slutty. Ladies of Leisure, featuring the legendary Lowell Sherman. I love Lowell Sherman. Ralph Graves and Barbara Stanwyck. So check out the Ladies of Leisure. It's going to be a love triangle, comedy, zaniness, romance. So I love Lowell Sherman though. Next up is the classic Moby Dick, featuring John Barrymore, the great-grandfather of Drew Barrymore. You know little Drew Barrymore? There's John Barrymore, her great-grandfather. Then we got Joan Bennett and Lloyd Hughes in Moby Dick, about hunting a whale. Next up we have Joan Crawford in Montana Moon. A wild partying flapper marries a cowboy and tries to adjust to the life on a western ranch. This is Joan Crawford and Montana Moon. Christina, bring me the axe. Remember that one? Next up we have Morocco. This features Gary Cooper, Marlena Dietrich, and Adolphe Menjou. I think that's how you say it. Morocco is going to be a thriller, romance, and drama movie. And if it's got Gary Cooper in, I'm in it. Next up, we have Paid. The Girl Wants to Get Paid. This features Joan Crawford, Robert Armstrong, and Marie Prevost. All three powerhouse actresses in the 1930s. And she gets 3 years prison sentence for a crime she didn't commit. Now she's going to get paid. She wants revenge. Next up, we have Party Girl. Hey, where's the party? Party. See, they're partying back in 1930. This features Douglas Fairbanks, Jeanette Loft, and Judith Berry. A young rising businessman and son of a wealthy manufacturer gets caught up in a web involving an escort service and party girls. So it's going to be kind of slutty back in 1930. Next, we have Free and Easy. Also kind of like a little slutty burlesque type movie back in the 30s. Yes, there were slutty movies back in the 30s. But this is also a romance, comedy, and drama, all tied into one. Free and easy, loose and fancy free. So check out Free and Easy, and for a little sluttiness and so on. Next, we have Hell's Angels. When World War I breaks out, brothers Roy and Monty, each attending Oxford University, enlist with the Royal Flying Corps. Ben Lyon, James Hall, and Jean Harlow are the actors for Hell's Angels. Next up, we have Our Blushing Brides. This features Joan Crawford. Three department store girls, Connie, Frankie, and Jerry, share an apartment on West 91st Street. Each earns a little bit of money, and they all go out and try to have fun and get a man. Our Blushing Brides, a comedy and romance. Next up, we have Reaching for the Moon, starring Douglas Fairbanks, Bebe Daniels, and Edward Everett Horton. Wall Street wizard Larry Day, new to the ways of love, is coached by his valet. He follows Vivian on an ocean liner where cocktails pour and romance ensues. Next, we have Greta Garbo in Romance. A beautiful opera star kept by a rich older man falls in love with a young clergyman. So, another love triangle featuring Greta Garbo, Louis Stone, and Gavin Gordon. Next up, we have The Silver Horde. A salmon fisherman has to choose between a bad girl and a society doll, featuring Evelyn Brent, Louis Wolheim, and Jean Arthur, a very young Jean Arthur. She later became more of a pop movie actress in the 40s. Next up, we have Sin Takes a Holiday. More people. A plain secretary works for a womanizing divorce lawyer who only dates married women. So check that out. She's single, but now he's dating married women. So he's playing the field, and she's not having it. So this is Sin Takes a Holiday. So you check that out. Next up we have is Sinner's Holiday. Maud Delano runs a penny arcade in Coney Island, living upstairs with her sons and daughter. Story involves rum running, accidental murder, and frame-up. So comedy, thriller, and drama. Alright, so check out Sinner's Holiday. Next up we have Soup to Nuts is a comedy musical romance film. And it's pretty much a love triangle where 4 guys try to get a girl. Alright, so check out Soup to Nuts. It is a comedy. You don't want to miss it. Next we have Streets of Chance, starring Kay Francis and William Powell. A big-time but honest gambler has to prevent his younger brother from following in his footsteps and taking up gambling. Nicolas Cage did a movie like that about 15 years ago. I think it was Nicolas Cage or John Cusack. So check that out. Next we have The Doorway to Hell. Despite his efforts to go straight, a young gangster keeps falling back into crime. Starring Louis Ayres in The Doorway to Hell. And this is a crime thriller movie. Next up we have The Big Trail. Brett Coleman leads hundreds of settlers in covered wagons from the Mississippi River to their destiny out west. The Big Trail, starring John Wayne. A very young John Wayne. This is 1930. So check it out. Next up we have The Divorcee. Norma Shearer in The Divorcee. When a woman discovers that her husband has been unfaithful to her, she decides to respond to his infidelities in kind. So he's playing the field. Now she's going to get all slutty and get payback and watch him get divorcee. The divorce. Next we have The Texan, a music, romance, and western movie from 1930. An outlaw and con man's plan to bilk an old woman out of a fortune takes an unexpected turn. That's Gary Cooper and Fay Wray. Remember Fay Wray from King Kong? And The Texan. Next up we have The Unholy Three, talkie remake of Todd Browning's 1925 silent film. Back in the 30s they were making talkies because silent film was over. A trio of former sideshow performers double as the Unholy Three in a scam to nab some shiny rocks. So check that out. Next we have Tom Sawyer for the kids, adventure, comedy, and drama. The classic Mark Twain tale of a young boy and his friends on the Mississippi River. Starring Jackie Coogan. We love Jackie Coogan. I love Jackie Coogan. So check out Tom Sawyer. Next we have True to the Navy, or also known as Ritz. So a counter girl at San Diego soda shop has a lot of sailor boyfriends, but her heart really belongs to a free-spirited gunner who doesn't want to be tied down to any one woman. So she's going to be chasing him. Next up we have is Up the River. When parole trustee Steve and former inmate Judy, who try to put their criminal lives behind them, are blackmailed, 2 career criminals come to their rescue. So this is a comedy, crime, and drama. Up the River. Next up we have Young Man of Manhattan, comedy, musical, and romance film. 2 flappers, Claudette Colbert and Ginger Rogers, try to get their newspaper reporter boyfriends to pay attention to them. So comedy ensues. This should be a lot of fun, featuring a very young Ginger Rogers. And lastly, we have The Dawn Patrol. World War I ace Dick Courtney derides the leadership of his superior officer, but Courtney is soon promoted to squadron commander and learns harsh lessons about sending subordinates to their fate. That is The Dawn Patrol. That is the films of 1930 that we all loved. If you haven't already, check them out. I'm sure you can probably still find them on Movies Unlimited. I believe there's a website called Movies Unlimited. You may be able to find them on streaming. Check out YouTube. But I think there's a place called Movies Unlimited where you can find a lot of the classic films. But many of these films you can probably find online somewhere. and check them out if you can. I'm Tony. Thanks for watching Yesteryear and Today, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.